What's up, Honors World? It's me, Coach Hall. Such a pretty day today. I figured I would step back outside. I know I've only done one of these outside already, so getting a little later in the well, not later in the afternoon, but a little later in the day for me. So I wanted to knock this out amidst the sunshine here before I do a little daily exercise. So before I do any of that, I wanted to get into chapters 28 and 29 with you guys today. Keep in mind here that Lila is 14 and a half, not quite a half, but 14 and a few months. So she's not quite 15 here. Abdul Sharif has arrived to the home of Rashid and Mariam here in chapter 28. And he says that he knows Tariq. He needs to sit down and talk to Laila about Tariq. He has news about Tariq. Essentially what he explains to her, and I don't want to go into too many details here, but Tariq's family was killed pretty quickly after they left. Happened in, they're headed to Peshawar. After they crossed into Pakistan, they were a part of a caravan of refugees headed into Pakistan for Afghanistan. And Tariq's parents were killed instantly. Tariq was injured to the point where he was burned, and he actually lost his other leg. He was hurt very badly, says Sharif. Rubber tubes coming out of him. And it just so happens to turn out that Sharif is the guy in the hospital bed next to Tariq here in this hospital in Pakistan. And so Tariq's family has been killed. Abdul Sharif is trying to get healthy so that he can leave the hospital. He's awoken one night by a fuss happening over in Tariq's bed. And then he says on page 209, he says, "In the morning, the bed was empty. I asked a nurse, and she said he fought valiantly." So it turns out that Tariq has passed away here in chapter 28. And this is a big deal because Laila, her only reason for living now, her only reason for living was the hopes that she would see Tariq again. And she even says, I think, she either says it in this chapter, it may be later. She says that her plan was to go to Pakistan, was to get healthy from Rashid and Mariam's house, get healthy, get her stuff, and take off to Pakistan so she could be with Tariq. That's all she had left in this world. And now that Tariq is dead, Laila has this emptiness. And Tariq had passed. Yeah, just at the very end, she's shocked into silence, and thought about how Mammy had felt empty when she found out her sons had died, and Laila, I think for the first time, that really resonates. Mammy's reaction to her sons dying makes Laila feel almost kind of that same way. Nothing has hit her like Tariq's death has. So now without her father, and without her mother, and without Tariq, Laila has nothing to live for. Enter Rashid in chapter 29. Of course, Rashid hears all this and is so respectful to Laila and talks about how much he admires Commander Masood, and also throws in how Hakim, Laila's father, and himself were such good friends before Laila was born, conveniently. All before Laila was born. Conveniently, they were good friends, and they would have these great discussions. And of course, it only takes a couple pages into chapter 29 before we figure out that the reason Rashid is being so nice to Laila is he wants to marry Laila as his second wife. At this point, I think Mariam is, oh gosh, this is off the top of my head now, 33, I think. And Mariam is 33, and she's the old one here. And Laila is 14, and Rashid wants to basically take advantage. Look, the parallels are the same here. Mariam had nothing, man. Had nothing when Rashid became her husband. Didn't have Jaleel didn't have, her mom didn't have anything. And she was kind of a victim of circumstance. Same situation here for Lila. Not exactly the same, but pretty darn similar to where Mariam had nothing to live for, so I might as well marry Rashid and help him have babies. Lila is kind of in the same situation. And as we see at the end of chapter 29, Lila accepts Rashid's proposal. Mariam doesn't want it. She says, over 18 years, I've asked you for one thing. No, I'm sorry. This is the first thing I'm asking you for in 18 years. This is the one thing I've ever asked of you in 18 years of marriage. They've been married almost 2 decades. And she goes, I've never asked you of anything, and I don't want this. I do not want this little girl, not because she's trying to protect Lila, but because she doesn't want another woman around. She doesn't want, a little bit of jealousy there, I think. She doesn't want this girl around. They don't get along very well. Mariam isn't excited that Lila's there anyway. And she basically proposes to Rashid, hey, let this go. This is not for us. Rashid says, of course, we can let this young girl go back out into the streets. Remember the houses that are getting blown up? And remember Tariq that had died instantly, or not died instantly, but his family was killed as he entered into Pakistan. And remember this girl's family that had been blown up, and remember all the rapes and the burned down houses. Yeah, let's send her, a young 14-year-old girl, out into the streets to travel to Pakistan alone and see how far she gets. Which, to Rashid's credit, is a pretty good point, because the streets here are no place for a young girl like Lila. So Lila is too dangerous for her to travel to Pakistan on her own. Doesn't have Tariq, doesn't have Mammy, doesn't have Bobby. And there's something else about Lila you may not know yet. You may have figured out, but you may not know yet. Lila doesn't have a lot of options here. So Mariam doesn't really have a comeback for that either. So once again, Rashid is going to get his way, because as Mariam goes and delivers this message to Lila, Lila doesn't wait like Mariam did, and she doesn't fight it like Mariam did. Lila says immediately, okay, I accept. Yep. I will marry Rashid. Absolutely. And that's how the chapter ends. Why was she so quick to accept? She has nothing to live for, maybe. But I think you'll learn a little bit more about that in chapter 30 as well. Tomorrow I'm going to post questions for chapters 30 through, let's see, we need to get through 30. I think our goal was through 35 this week. 36. So how about this? I'll post 30 through 33 tomorrow. No, I'm sorry, 30 through 32 tomorrow. Yeah, that'll work out perfect. 30 through 33 tomorrow, and then 33 through 36 on, or maybe 35, maybe 34 and 35 for Thursday. That way I'm not ending the week with just hammering you guys with work. Get your work in, especially if you're an option B kid. If you're an option A kid, get your work in and I'll look at it. I know a couple of you have already done that. It won't be graded, but some of you are still interested in learning, and of course I love to read what you wrote. And of course you're welcome to view these videos and submit any work you want to. Remember, all of your grades from here on out will only go up. No one's grade will go lower than it was on March 13th. Some of you need to start turning in work so you can pass this class. Some of you could, end up with a better grade than you have now, especially if you're option B, if you chose option B. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. 9 minutes is plenty of discussion on this. Hopefully you guys can see me okay. I can't really tell how well this is coming off because of the glare. I think it's going to be okay. Sorry if I'm too shadowy today. I'll post another video tomorrow. I'll post another assignment for you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys are enjoying this book. And man, chapter 30, another twist. Like I tell you, some twists and turns along the way. So hopefully you guys look forward to that. Anyway, hope you're well. Hope you're feeling well. Hope your family is well. Look after yourselves and each other. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.